Do you not know that your body is a temple unto God? Now, this is going to be very significant and strategic, knowing that how you relate and respond to your body says a lot to what you think about worship. There are, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to go over it in greater detail on Sunday. This is just going to be our introductory class. But as we move forward, we'll go a little bit deeper. 33,000, I want you to write this down, 33,000 African Americans die of cancer a week. 33,000 die of cancer a week. 70% of all African Americans who die between Easter Sunday and this Sunday coming, 70% of those who will die in the next 7 days will die of a disease that is preventable. They don't have to, but they are not. The church has been derelict in its responsibility of preaching holistic gospel and holistic ministry. We save your souls at the neglect of your body. There is not in any conscionable way that we can talk about praise and worship and not deal with the elements of exercise. There's something wrong with being an out-of-shape worshiper. There are 5 places of elimination for whatever toxins are in your body. There are 5 outlets of elimination. Those 5 are your colon, that we're going to deal with on next week. The second one is your kidneys. Your third one is your lungs. Your 5th one is your liver. 4th one is your liver. And your 5th one is your skin. And today I'm going to teach on that 5th one. We're going to go backwards. The 5th one, which is your skin. And our subject, for those of you who are writing notes, keeping notes tonight, is it's only skin deep. It's only skin deep. Let me give, because this is Bible study, let me give you a scripture to underpin our teaching on tonight. You don't have to go to it if you'll just write it down in your notes, and then I'll come back in about 12 to 15 minutes and bring all of it back to the text. The scripture that is going to illuminate the principles that we're going to deal with is Ezekiel 37. Ezekiel 37, verses 1 through 6. Here's what Ezekiel 37 says. The hand of the Lord was upon me, and he brought me out by the Spirit of the Lord and set me in the middle of a valley. It was full of bones. He led me back and forth amongst them, and I saw a great many bones on the floor of the valley, bones that were very dry. He asked me, Jamal, can these bones live? I said, Lord, only you know. Then he said to me on Tuesday night, prophesy to these bones and say to them, dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. This is what the sovereign Lord says to these bones. I will make breath into you, and you will come to life. Verse number 6 really is our highlight verse. I will attach tendons to you and make flesh come upon you and cover you with skin. I want you to underline that he will cover me with skin. I will put breath in you and you will come to life. Then you will know that I am the Lord. Ladies and gentlemen, your skin is the largest organ on your body. It is made up of several different components. including water, protein, liquids, minerals, and chemicals. The job of skin is to protect you from infections and environmental assaults. The skin also holds and possesses your nerve endings that is able to detect for you whether an environment is cold, whether it's hot, whether you are experiencing pain, pressure, and to know when you have been touched. Throughout your life, your skin changes constantly. For many of you who are in this room, the only thing that changes about you is your skin, for better or for worse. As a matter of fact, your skin changes every 30 days. It peels itself, and it starts all over again. It almost runs, Aunt Cynthia, continuous with the communion cycle. That every time we come to communion, we're shedding old skin and starting all over again. The skin is made up of 3 different layers, and they're very important, and I need you to have these 3 down. The 3 layers that make up your skin is first the outer layer, which is known as your epidermis. There's a middle layer, which is called the dermis, and then the inner layer, which is the hypodermis. All right, so you have the outer layer, the middle layer, and the inner layer. Now, it's very important that you not miss any of them, because all of them are going to have significance to those of us who claim Christianity and walk under the covenant in 1 minute. Your first layer of skin is what? Come on, class, what is it? Your middle layer is called what? And then your third layer is called what? All right. Now, the skin is very critical because it protects you and it fights off things in the atmosphere you can't see. The body depends on the skin as a reflection to know whether I'm alive. When the brain, your cerebrum, is looking for water in order to sustain itself, if it cannot get it from any other place in your body, then your brain will then drain water out of your skin. Draining the water out of your skin causes dehydration, or what your mother would call you're ashy. You have become ashy. Why? Because your brain has taken the water that the skin needed in order to fight your environment. I want to take just 2 or 3 minutes to talk about what are those 3 layers, and then it's going to help you understand the mind of God in creating you. The outer layer of skin is called the what? Epidermis. It's a translucent layer made of cells that function to protect the environment. It is the most superficial portion. Is called the dead skin cells, and they continuously shed. The deepest portion contains the basal cells that are responsible for skin renewal. The epidermis also contains cells that produce melanin, which suggests what color you are. The epidermis is responsible for the look and the health of the skin, and it holds the greatest amount of water. The younger the body, the more water there is in the skin. The capacity of the skin to retain water decreases with age, making the skin more vulnerable to dehydration, and is not as tight on the bone structure and begins to loosen. The epidermis, ladies and gentlemen, is very critical because it contains the protein that your body needs in order to maintain itself. That is all the epidermis. The middle layer is called the what? All right. I know this is boring you, but I need you to stay with me. I'm going to help you in just a minute. The dermis is the middle layer, and it contains 2 types of fibers. In those two types of fibers, they lessen in supply with age that give you the elasticity in the skin, or the elastin. It gives the skin the elasticity and collagen, which provides strength. And so I want you, for those of you taking notes, it's in my middle layer that I get my strength. If you don't write anything else, my middle layer of skin is what gives me strength. The dermis, which is the middle layer, you all are going to get it in a minute, and those of y'all not writing it down, you're going to be mad you didn't get it when I bring it all together. The dermis contains the blood. It contains the blood and the sweat glands, from which we get blood, sweat, and tears, comes from the dermis, or that middle layer of skin. It is in that middle layer of skin that encases your nerves. You do not have nerve if you do not have blood. But as long as the blood is working, then your nerves are able to detect who's touching you. If the blood is not flowing in the middle layer, you all stay with me, that's the only way you're able to tell whether you're in pain. If the blood stops running through the middle layer, you don't even know you've been wounded. If there is no blood flowing through the dermis, somebody can touch you and you have no idea. I'm getting ready to help you. The third layer, are you all ready for it? The third layer is your hypodermis. The hypodermis is made up mainly of fat. It lies between the dermis and the muscles. So it protects the strength. It expands so that activity can happen. It maintains the temperature for the rest of the body. What happens in the hypodermis affects what happens in the other two layers. If the hypodermis is not functioning properly, then the other two are out of order. The hypodermis also protects your vital inner organs. What's going on the inside of you, with your heart, with your lungs, hear me ladies and gentlemen, with the flow of your respiratory system, is connected to that third layer, which is the hypodermis. The reduction of tissue in this layer is also what causes the skin to sag. Whenever your body gets hot or is under stress, it is your sweat glands that is in the hypodermis that releases the toxins for what you've been holding on to. There are some things that have been going on in your body that your body doesn't know it shouldn't keep. But the hypodermis says we can't hold on to this because it's making the rest of the body sick, and it is developing fungus and bacteria, and it contributes to there being a foul odor. If your body is giving off a bad odor, that means there's something going on in the third layer that is out of order, because it is holding and containing the stress that should have been released. You are still holding on to it. So the sweat glands are located all over the body, especially in your palms. Watch this. The palm of your hand, where you lay hands, where you hold hands. The sweat glands, here it is in the soles of your feet. Every place that the sole of your feet shall tread upon, I've already given to you. Your sweat glands are in your forehead. He anoints my head with oil. Your sweat glands are under your arms. And when Moses was losing the battle, they held him up on both sides under his arm, so that wherever the stress was, it was released, so that there would not be an odor that there was something wrong.